No equipment, no intimidation, just you. 20-minute absolute beginner. Felt like you didn't know where to start with Pilates? For the next 20 minutes, there are no perfect moves and no expectation. Let's take your step together. Hi and welcome. We're going to begin the class with breathing exercise. So let's go ahead and have a seat. You can sit like what I'm doing now, folding the knee or cross leg, or you can also sit on a chair. So sitting nice and tall, really try to think of using the back muscle right here. Place your hands at the lower part of your rib cage here. On the side of the rib cage, I want you to breathe through, inhale through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. So as you inhale, the breath, the air that you take in will then expand the rib cage sideways and backwards. And then as you exhale, I want you to think about this lower part of the abdominal. So drawing up or zipping up from the pubic bone area up towards the belly button, and then wrapping around the waistline towards the belly button and allow the ribs to funnel in. So you're contracting the tension around the center area into the spine and keeping the back nice and tall. Get it? Let's go. Inhaling, expanding. And exhaling out through the mouth, zipping up, wrapping in, funneling in, and keep that nice tension right here while keeping your back upright. Let's do that again. Inhaling, exhale, inhale, exhale. Two more. Let's go. Inhale. Last one. Excellent. All right. So think about that breath and the abdominal engagement, and let's go down onto the mat. So go ahead and lie on your back. The best thing is to lie on the side first, and then go ahead and roll onto your back. Going into what we call here a supine position, lying on the back, bending the knee. I want you to lift your right leg up and go ahead and compress the leg into your body and then extend the left leg long on the floor. So you may feel a little nice stretch in front of the left hip and perhaps a little challenge of compression underneath the right hip. And stay here and really hug your leg tightly here. And again, breathe, inhaling. Now, feeling the ribs expanding. And then exhaling, deflating the abdominal. And perhaps you can hug the legs a little tighter right to your chest. And inhale again. And exhale, letting go any tension you may have at the front of your hips. And two more in breath. One last here, in breath. All right, let's switch sides. So lower the leg down and bring the other one in and hug that leg into your chest and straighten the right leg. Okay, and same thing here, breathing in, rib cage expanding wide, and exhale, deflating the abdominal, and really tightly hug your legs into your chest and feeling the expansion of the rib cage. And the exhalation, feeling the deflation of the belly and a deeper compression of the hip. And inhale, play around with the breath, play around the expansion of the ribs. And exhale, let the belly sink into the floor. One more, inhale. And also just make sure that you're not tensing the shoulder here. And exhale. Brilliant. All right, let the leg go and bring the other leg in as well. Bring the heel in line with the sit bone. You can just approximately place the feet down and toes parallel here. Now I want you to go ahead and rock the pelvis here. So we're gonna rock the pelvis so the lower back is now imprinted to the floor and the pubic bone is curling up to the sky, and then rock it the other way that you're gonna have a big space underneath the lower back like a bridge, and then rock it back, flatten the bridge down, and inhale, rock it to make a big bridge, and then continue rocking, flattening, and then arching, and now keep rocking. Now I want you now to make the rocking a little smaller, much smaller, and much smaller, and control the locking to a little miniature rock, and then come to a stillness. Now, this stillness pelvis is a position of pelvis that is comfortable for you. So let's just say this is your neutral pelvis position. All right, now we go back to the breathing again. So go ahead and place the hands on the lower rib cage here. So we inhale, thinking more on the rib cage expansion to the side into your hands and into the floor without pushing the belly out too much or at all. And an exhale, there is a little zip upward like we did before, wrapping the waistline into your belly button and then funnel the ribs in. Now, as you draw that abdominal, you do not rock the pelvis. You keep the pelvis and the lumbar spine nice and stable. And we'll repeat again, inhaling, rib cage, exhaling, zipping up, wrapping the waist, and we keep the pelvis absolutely stable. So we're keeping a tension here, a good tension in abdominal. And let's do one more time. Inhaling and exhaling, zip, wrap, and secure the placement and hold it a little tight here. All right, now that's how you hold the abdominal. Now take your arms down by the side. We are going to use the abdominal now to rock the pelvis. So breath in. As you exhale, zip up, contract the lower abdominal and allow the lower abdominal to sink into the floor and allow the lower back to imprint. And now at this position, you have a little dent or create a little dent in the abdominal cavity. So you are in kind of like a C-curve position here. Your back is imprinted to the floor. Your pelvis may come off, and then control the pelvis back down. Find that neutral pelvis of yours. Again, exhaling, zipping, imprinting, curling, and lengthening the lower back down, hollowing the abdominal, and then inhaling, lengthening the pelvis and the spine back to your neutral pelvis. Again, exhaling, abdominal would draw the lower back down. Not the gluteals, the abdominal, abdominal, abdominal. That's all you need to think about. And an inhale, lengthening the pelvis carefully back to your neutral. So everything here is a control movement. Exhale, abdominal pull in and pull back into the floor. The pelvis will come off. So this is the effort of the lower abdominal and the middle abdominal, and an inhaling. Come back, one more. Exhaling. Pulling the abdominal, imprint the lower back, and an inhaling, lengthening. And now let's take it a little bit further. So exhaling, go ahead again, imprint the lower back. Now hold that. Use the hamstring to then lift the pelvis up, peel the spine up, and come up to that bridge position. Now right at the top here, your lower abdomen is really drawing into lower back. The sitting bone is really pressing up. The inner thighs are holding or narrowing the legs to each other. They're still parallel apart. The chest is open. Now, as you exhale, we're thinking about sinking the ribs down, melting down, articulate the spine down bone by bone. And now come back to that neutral position. Repeat. Exhaling, drawing in the abdominal, imprint the lower back, use the hamstring to lift the pelvis and the spine bone by bone up to your highest bridge position. Inhale. Exhale, rolling down. Make sure those inner thighs are active. Do not let your knees splay around to the side. Again, inhaling and exhaling as we roll. Reaching the sitting bone to the knees, inhaling at the top, exhaling as you melt. And come back. Let's give me one more time. Breath in and then breath out. We roll the pelvis up, up, up. Inhale here. Exhale, roll it down with control, 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 control. Very good. Now, pelvis, lower back, ribs, stabilize. Exhale, drawing the abdominal. Now, dorsiflexing the right ankle, sliding the right leg away from the pelvis without disturbing the placement of the pelvis. Lifting the leg up slightly off the floor, just slightly. Lower the leg down and pull the leg back in. Switch side. Exhale. Ready the abdominal. Dorsiflexing the ankle, sliding the left leg out without disturbing the placement of the pelvis, lifting the leg up slightly and lower and coming down. So we're testing the stability here. Exhaling, deepening the abdominal, slide the right leg, lifting up slightly, lower down and come back in. Continue. I wanted to imagine if you were to put a wine glass resting on the pelvis. So, and exhale the other leg. Can you keep that wine glass stable and lifting and lower and come back? Again, keep that wine glass stable, resting on the pelvis. Lift, lower, and center. And exhale, straight and slide, and lift, and lower, and pull in. Let's give me one more. And each side, exhale, sliding. Don't forget the rib cage. Draw the rib cage down so you can activate the upper abdominal. Last one, left leg sliding, left, lower, and brilliant. Okay, now from here, again, draw the abdomen in. Now slightly different. We're gonna lift the right leg up with that, jiggling the pelvis without pushing the belly out. Keep the content down into the floor. Lift the right leg up to a tabletop, meaning knee over the hip and knee in line with the ankle here. Now keep this 90-90 position. You lower the leg down from the hip and tap in the floor and keep the pressure on the abdominal down and then bring it up again. Inhale, lower, stabilize the pelvis. Exhale, up and lower and up and lower and up. And I want the belly to stay stable into the floor. And again, imagine you got a wine glass resting on the pelvis. Can you keep it stable? And movement from the hip. And one more. And a lift up, stay. Now press the opposite hand against the thigh. So press against that, push the thigh away. You feel the left ribcage drawing into the hip. Hold that tension. Tiptoe the left foot. Exhale, bringing the leg up and then lower down. Exhale, bringing the leg up and lower down. So deflate the belly. Deflate the belly. Keep it stable. So hold the tension. Don't let the belly jump out from the floor. Last one and lift and lower. Awesome. Lower that first leg down. We'll switch. Stabilize the center. Deepen the abdominal. Left leg up to the tabletop 90-90. Knee over your hip. Heel in line with the knee. And then hold the center. Lower from the hip joint. Exhaling left. And we lower. Exhaling left. Remember the wine glass. Try not to pit away. And again. Exhale left. So control the movement and give me one more here. And now hold, pressing the opposite hand onto your thigh. Right ribs into the left hips. Push away, resist. Keep that tension in abdominal. Tiptoe your right leg and bring that leg up, boom. And lower. Control and lower and left and lower and left. And stabilize the center. Give me one more. Actually, let's go one more. Bonus. Last one. Hold. Now hold that, squeeze the legs together, let go of your arms, hold that tension abdominal. Now straighten the legs, hold, and we bend. Exhale, straight, and we bend. As you straighten the leg, the belly sink and go. Last one, straighten belly sink and good. Lower one foot and second foot. Good job. Right, extend the left leg long, nice and long in front of you. Bring the right leg up to the tabletop. Straighten up again. Dorsiflexing, which means flexing the ankle and bring the toes to you. Stabilize the pelvis. We bring the leg across the body and half circle, not half circle, full circle, bring it to center. And again, make a circle with the leg and inhaling for one, exhaling for one. Inhaling one round, exhaling one round. And pelvis is stable. And one more. Inhaling one round, exhaling one whole, the other leg out, and an inhaling, and we go opposite direction now. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. You have to work super cautiously here that the legs don't really move the pelvis at all. And one more. Okay, pointing the foot, bending the knee, bringing the foot down, bring the other foot in close to you, bring it up to the table position, straighten the other leg down. Lift that leg, dorsiflexing, hold the center, bring it across the body, and one. Across, down, and around. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more. Inhale, exhale, hold the other way. Out, down, across. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last set. Exhale, hold. Pointing the foot, bending the knee, take it down. Now turn your body to me. So bring the bottom arm up over your head and rotate. Legs together. Long, stack them up. Bottom arm palms up. Top hand here. Lift the underneath waistline here so your spine can be in a straight line, horizontal with the floor. All right, now from here, thinking about this top obliques. Legs come together, bringing the legs up off the floor so you're creating like a banana shape, and then lower down. These obliques and this back muscle will work together to bring the legs up. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Give me two more. Lift and lower. Last one. Lift and beautiful. Coming up and switching around. The legs come together, nice and long. Stack them up. Bottom arm palms up. Top hand here. Bottom waist lifted up. And this oblique, lower back muscle work together as a team to lift up and lower and then lift and lift and lift and lift. Three more. Two, one. Beautiful work. All right. And last one, just roll onto your front. Very simple. Legs come together. The arms go by the side here, long by the side, and take your arms off the floor. Now the abdominal is ready to support your lower back, meaning you engage that abdominal. You let the sitting bone lengthen down to your heels, and then glide the shoulder blades down away from your ears. Inhaling to lift the head, neck, upper, middle back, up into an extension. The neck is long. The gaze is low down onto the floor still, and then lower back down. So we're thinking about middle back extension here. So inhaling, the head float, the neck floats, upper back, middle back. So my rib cage, my lower rib cage is just touching the floor and then coming down. And again, inhaling, shining the crown of the head, shining the sternum forward, shining the breastbone forward. And exhale down. Let's give me 2 more. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to lower. Last one. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to lower. Beautiful. Bringing the forearm by the side of the shoulders. Use that forearm push away. Sit the pelvis to your heels. Rest the arm long. And then stay here in this rest position, just actively breathing into the rib cage, expanding the back of the rib cage, or focus on expansion of the back of the rib cage. Exhale, let it deflate. One more, inhaling, focus on the expansion of the back of the rib cage. Exhale, and then go ahead and roll yourself up. Wow, well done. Thank you for moving with me today. You're a champ, you're a star for doing the whole class. Welcome to Pilates. And I'm Mira. Take care, and I'll see you next day, tomorrow, for another class with me. Have a good day.